everybody, how's it going? Stormdookie14 here, welcome back for another reaction. We're going to be reacting to Nostalgia Critic's newest video, the Super Mario Bros. Movie review. Now, before we get started, I do want to apologize about one thing I said about Nostalgia Critic and the Mario movie in one of my previous reactions. And that was that in the SpongeBob movie reaction, he did make a mark about the Mario movie, about how critics were getting on the movie's case when they didn't really need to. I believe I didn't mean to say that he was getting on the case of it. I was saying that the other critics were getting on the case, not him. I knew he was not on the case. I knew from the start that he's actually defending the movie from those guys, and I did not mean to be that way. Anyways, enough about that. And then we're here to see what he thinks about the Mario Brothers movie. Something tells me he's going to have a lot of fun tearing it apart, considering that, yes, well, the critics don't need to be mean about it for its low narrative. It does have a low narrative in the first place, so, I mean, it was a great movie. Very good movie, but I can see why Doug is going to make fun of it very well. So, let's see how the chaos ensues. In 3, 2, 1.
This episode brought to you by Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit.
Why are Hollywood movies not making money?
Is it possible people just don't like going to the theaters anymore?
Is there any hope for cinema? Will anybody go to theaters when you can just stream at home?
Big budget movies are failing because there's no good films anymore.
The problem is, Hollywood doesn't want to make good movies, so why would people
Yeah, I don't think
leave their
that's the
homes
case.
to see them?
Well, of course those two movies bombed.
They're cartoons.
Elemental and
Mamma
Teenage
mia.
Kraken. I don't know about those guys, but yeah, Mario movie wasn't that bad. It was amazing, actually. So, alright. I would like to see what his commentary on is about that. So let's see! Hey, Doug.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember? So you don't have to. With the curse of video game movies being plagued for so long, one does have to ask the question, was this really so hard?
No, I don't think it was.
The Super Mario Bros. Movie more than replaced its predecessor that came
Yeah.
out 30 years earlier, and is the latest hit that's asking the question, you know, if you make it like what people enjoyed originally, does a sequel or adaptation have to suck? Though many were concerned
think
with
so.
the bizarre casting choices and often juvenile studio making it, the fact that Super Mario Bros. Is a movie that really only Illumination could make. Most of the other studios would try too hard to make it a self-sufficient, multi-layered, important movie, and that's not really what most people want.
Yeah, it doesn't really
They
need to
wanted
be
Mario
one.
Brothers, bright, silly, simple. It's not a movie that tried too hard, it's a movie that tried hard enough. Nobody really wants a complex plot when it comes to these characters in this world, but they want something that still represents what we like about these characters and this world. And you can feel the love for all of that in this flick. It famously didn't get much praise from critics, but it's hard to say it really got trashed. It still technically has the majority of critics liking it, but it's just not the overwhelming majority. It's not that surprising. I mean, if you're an adult who didn't grow up with Mario Brothers, I don't know how entertaining this very clear Nintendo commercial is gonna be. But there's been other clear commercials out there we've gotten into and found a lot of charm in.
All of those.
With that said, is it perfect? That's a Take On Me song reference of no. It still has problems like most Illumination films do, but I think fans agree when they think of what a Super Mario Bros. Movie would be like, this is about as close as it gets.
Yeah.
So what are the strengths, weaknesses, and earworms we're still trying to decide if we're sick of or not? Well, let's take a closer look.
Alright, here we go.
Never Going Back, the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Thank goodness that's forgotten
This movie's
forever.
already trying to show up Disney saying, hey, we can dick up our castles as much as you can.
Yep, this scene was
One of the most
amazing.
enjoyable elements for any fan is how well the music incorporates the Nintendo themes.
Right.
Brian Tyler is a crazily underappreciated composer, and he did a damn good job working in Koji Kondo's music while still keeping it cinematic.
Right.
Does
Yeah.
it work?
The classic Mario theme. Yeah, the theme of the star.
Also a big thank you for not having Jack Black sing Bowser's theme.
Yeah. I mean, he did a good job singing one of the songs that we'll get to.
Open the gates!
On that note, as I know a lot of people have said, Jack Black is probably the best casting choice in the movie.
Yeah.
Do you yield?
I do not.
He steals a star from this kingdom of penguins and has both the threatening base yet comedic bounciness a villain like this needs.
Right.
I finally found it, and now no one can stop me!
Yeah.
Nobody except a callback to an 80s show with Bad King that technically should have keyed Luigi out too. Kevin missed opportunity.
Really?
We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get
all the fame. Love that song.
It's no Dick Ray.
Forget the
Yeah.
expensive plumbing companies over you're just a face.
They kind of cleverly show why the Charles Martinet Mario voice wouldn't have worked for the entire movie while also giving a loving nod.
True.
What about the accent?
Like how using it as like a commercial accent was pretty good.
Perfect.
Mario this time is voiced by Chris Pratt, which, like I said, had a lot of controversy behind it.
True.
Jeez.
I think he did fine.
Fine.
Exactly. I thought he
Mario
did
64,
fine.
I always saw Mario as having more of a deep, raspy Brooklyn voice, kind of like what Bob Hoskins or the cartoon had.
The only thing miraculous I know is that we're still eating.
Now we're gonna clog you out of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Maybe it's because
Pratt isn't
he's had
distracting
nothing
as
but
the voice,
that.
He's just serviceable. It's not the voice I think of when I see the character, but I'm also not thinking of him in the recording studio saying these lines either. It's an okay in between.
I am so glad
I
we
guess.
spent our life savings on this commercial.
That is not a commercial. That is cinema.
Not true. Critics also reviewed that commercial and disliked it just as much.
Our mom called and she said, "Oh, boys, that's the best."
You know, I actually do think this is a good voice for Luigi,
his
though,
brother,
more
Luigi.
casually.
He's fine. I actually thought he would be the best thing in this movie, as I'm a big fan of his stuff. But like Pratt, he doesn't really add much, but he doesn't take away much either. Which is good, as your eye's gonna constantly be darting for all the Nintendo Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ludwig
they
von Koopa,
are
Donkey Kong,
everywhere.
the
And you know,
Star,
it seems like
the
every
X-Wing,
franchise
sorry,
movie is
R-Wing.
doing this, but let's just say it. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. There's references that feel distracting and desperate. Like, it's a cheap way to show they understand the property when really all they're doing is acknowledging they know it exists. But something like the DuckTales reboot, the Spider-Verse films, and yes, this, shows there's a cleverness, excitement, and even love for building this world.
Right.
It's cool knowing Mayor Pauline is in this universe.
Yeah, that's pretty
Apparently
cool.
Little Mac opened a restaurant. Jumpman is this world's version of Mario, which was another name for him.
Yeah, that is
They're
pretty
both
fun.
in-jokes and world-building tools.
I
that
saw
make me
Duck
wanna know
Hunt
more
Car
about
Wash, I
this
think was one of
environment
them.
rather than distract from it. Even the side-scrolling shtick I thought was a little lame the first time I saw it, but I kind of like the comparison that running through a battlefield is pretty similar to just getting through New York. The more I let it sit, the more it kind of grew on me.
Hello, Super Mario Brothers.
It's Uncle Frank! He says he can play your part if you ever get canceled for some dumb reason! Yeah, just because Pratt is passable doesn't mean I can't fantasize about better choices.
I mean,
They're called
that's fair enough.
Get a fancy resident, but the secret life of
That looks-
Cujo causes trouble because they destroyed his toy.
You know, honestly, I thought that dog was... I don't know, he looks more like an Illumination version of Doug from the movie Up, except Doug is not this mean and evil. He'd just be like, oh darn, hi there. Well, that's just what I thought of when I saw that dog, but yeah, it does look more Secret Life of Pets.
So this is another example of the movie working just well enough. If this was only them fixing this leak and water going everywhere, it wouldn't be funny. But
Yeah.
the addition of this incredibly expressive dog obsessing over their demise adds the right amount to make it pretty humorous. It's not
Yeah.
hilarious, but it is funny. It works.
Found the problem.
The job obviously doesn't go well, and we see them go home to their family.
Yeah,
of
the
shit.
twist of Mario hating mushrooms, that was pretty good.
With that commercial.
They gave an Oscar for worst actors. What'd I do?
And let me get this straight. Mario is seen as an Italian stereotype, but
Right.
nobody had a problem with animated Moonstruck here?
I wouldn't quit your day job.
Oops.
You know, honestly, I can see that.
In the
Dang.
original script, literally, it was just an entire page of everybody going, "Hey!" Charles Martinet also voices Mario's father, which is, again, not only a nice in-joke, but allows people who think he only does Mario's voice to see he can play different roles.
You don't leave a steady job for some crazy dream. And the worst part, you're bringing your brother down with you.
Nah, he's
I mean,
just
yeah,
upset
that
he
was
didn't
pretty
become
good.
The golf star he always wanted to be. Seriously, you have to stand
I didn't
far
know that.
back to even notice that one.
Yeah, I didn't notice it myself. Alright, he's playing Kid Icarus.
Don't you think it's a little weird you're playing, you know? Nah, you want real confusing? Sonic is playing TurboGrafx 16 next door. Wait, what?
Really?
But it looks like there's some bad news on the news.
A water main burst underground today, flooding downtown Brooklyn.
Scapilli.
Right.
Somebody save Brooklyn!
Luigi,
This is our chance!
Okay, so this is a crazy nitpick, but Mario's human hands without his gloves kind of looks like ugly Sonic's
Oh my
human
gosh,
teeth.
I did not realize that about Mario's hands. Yeah, that's the face I'd make about that.
Mario tells Luigi they
That
should
looks
fix
really
the
weird.
epic so
How did I
head
not
into the
notice that?
You gotta get to that pressure valve!
I don't know, Mario. This feels very teleporty to me. I'm getting the Warriors of Virtue or something worse vibe down here.
Oh yeah,
Luigi continues to feed
it's kind of
his
start
green
looking
fetish,
like
being
that down
sucked into a
here.
mysterious green pipe and taking Mario with him, separating them along the way.
I'm taking you to see the princess.
You know, one thing I do like that they showed here is that instead of just like showing them like fly through the pipe in total darkness and then just poof out the other end, they actually did show what the area between the different worlds looks like. They're like, it's a see-through like pipe sequence, and they can go to different areas. So like Luigi split off into Bowser's region and Mario split off into Peach's region, which I thought was really cool. Like when they added something a bit different to add more to like the Mario sort of world building. Which is, again, it's always appreciated.
She can help you.
Keegan Michael Key plays Toad. He's not
Fine.
this.
Here we go! The Mushroom Kingdom!
Mushrooms, really?
I mean, I can
That's
kind of
cool.
understand why.
Not since Popeye hating spinach have I wanted a bigger reaction but didn't care. I don't know if liking green eggs and ham can be an arc. Why not mushrooms?
I need to see the
I mean,
princess.
it does. I mean, there's a bit of a funnier version later on when he's like going through the course and then has to eat a mushroom every time, and he's just like, no.
Heard of any princes?
Oh, wait, I did. Our princess, though, is in another castle.
The thing! He said the thing! Yeah, not all the callbacks are good.
Yeah, I get it.
Toad turns this into a Zelda game for a moment, and we're introduced to Princess Peach, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. She's fine. She's about as just interesting enough as the rest of the cast.
I'm going to convince the Great Kong Army to help us.
I will admit, I was a touch concerned the plot was about saving Luigi instead of her, as, yes, it is a pain she always has to be rescued, but then
True.
again, that is the trope, save the princess. It's like one of the oldest tropes there is.
Right.
But first off, there are several versions of Mario that play with that trope.
Right.
My favorite being in the old Nintendo Power comics where she's kidnapped, breaks herself out while Mario breaks himself in, he gets kidnapped, she has to save him, and then they both get kidnapped and they have to figure out a way to save each other.
Dang.
It's a fun spin on the idea, and I like how if you really think about it, she's basically training him how to rescue her later.
True.
It's nothing brilliant, but it's creative enough.
I mean, it works well enough for like what's going on initially, because yeah, Mario has no idea what he's doing. She's supposed to be a fish out of water in this case, and Peach, it would make sense that she would know a lot more than Mario does, so I think it works very well.
Second, Mario and Luigi grew up with each other. They already have a connection. There's already an incentive for Mario to save him. It's clear they want a romantic relationship between Mario and Peach, and you can't build that if they don't spend time together.
Right.
Plus, with Luigi's newer personality being a scaredy cat, I think this works okay.
Their mad king doesn't make alliances. The Kongs will never agree.
Anyone who doesn't laugh at how seriously that line is delivered does not get why this film is supposed to be funny. Mario tells Peach about his missing brother, and because she hasn't seen a human in years, she takes pity on him and invites him to help out.
How am I supposed to do that?
With the power-ups. They give us special abilities.
Yeah, I love they don't even try to explain the logic of power-ups or the lore or the backstory or stick Mario in a car for an hour. Everyone knows it's a
thank
video
goodness
game
for
movie.
that.
Just be a video game movie.
Right.
That's it, 2023. Stop trying to ruin I Need a Hero for me.
Yeah, this one worked fine enough.
Nobody's gonna top Shrek 2. They own it. Stop trying to top Shrek 2.
Yeah. I don't think it's trying to top Shrek 2. I mean, it couldn't even if it wanted to, so.
He does well enough, and they decide to journey to the Kongs to see if they'll join their battle against Bowser.
Right. And then she kind of disses on him
Why
here.
do the rulers in this world put their faces on everything? You know this is a Mario movie, right? I'm Nintendo's Mickey Mouse. I'm the cash cow.
I
mean,
will.
Yeah, you're one of the 3 primaries.
Toad brave enough to join me.
Wow, how has this world not gotten taken over yet?
Yeah.
For that matter, I just realized his name is Toad, and yet they're all called Toads?
Yeah, that is a bit of a confusing part. You know, the part with Princess Peach, I guess if I could say real quick, you know, I think it... One thing I don't know if wasn't going to touch on yet, but, you know, you could... I know there's a lot of argument on how like Peach is like the stereotypic tough independent girl as well in this case. You know, the one who's like Miss Perfect. But honestly, they did show enough to show that she really worked hard to get to this position. And considering that she, again, rules a kingdom of people that cannot protect themselves, just as Doug said, and we all know, it honestly kind of works really well that has that sort of trait to her. So, again, I think it is better incorporated than what most people do.
Just don't hurt my toads!
Is that like when you meet a guy named Guy? You know it's stupid to think about, but it's all you can think about.
Yeah.
Summer is here, and everybody is getting into the latest dance crazes. Look at this boy here. He's doing the 22 skadoo hullabaloo scoopity doo be doo be doo.
That's a lot of words. That's a lot of oohs.
We see Luigi as Bowser's prisoner just as he's announcing his evil plan.
Yeah.
I will ask their princess to marry me in a fairy
tale wedding! And they're like...
I don't know why any of us never put together he was gonna be a simp for Peach in this. I mean, it's in like every version.
Yeah.
But something about seeing it as the focus of a movie just makes it so much funnier.
Yeah, it does.
Of course she hates me. But that makes me love her all the more.
Yeah.
Maybe because there's a threatening voice to go with it, maybe because he's surrounded by threatening imagery, maybe because we don't really know his motivation until the start of the second act, but
True.
It's surprisingly pretty funny.
Yeah.
Heart-shaped bangs. The way she floats in
Well,
the breeze.
what also makes it really funny is that how drastically his appearance like changes to fit that personality. Because like when he's like really scary and intimidating, his eyes narrow and glow red, which really adds to the aesthetic to make him scary. And then when he's like this, very simpish, his eyes widen up and he's like has very high smiles and expressive faces. Again, it's a perfect mix between that really scary and really goofy character that Bowser is, and that's why everybody loves Bowser so much. I love Bowser so much for this reason, and Jack Black did a great job playing him.
Her immovable tiara.
And yeah, where are we with this song now?
I still think it's pretty funny. I listen to it from time to time. Are you gonna ruin it?
Well, according to the overplayed song list, we're past the legit goodness of Blame Canada, having quite hit the apocalyptic annoyance of Macarena. Just a little under the flip-flopping between love and hate of Let It Go. Just under the I'm annoyed, but I think I like it ironically of Rebecca Black's Friday. And we finally reached the just good enough to make us forget about that weird cameo in Mandalorian. Not bad for a song that's not even a minute long.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the biggest complaints from a lot of people, which I guess is a good problem to have, is the film could have been a little longer. Every scene I feel
it was
like
really
could have benefited from
fast-paced.
just one more minute of screen time. Like we go into Peaches.
Peaches.
Okay, you're rising up on the list, man.
Alright, well,
Backstory,
stop
and
playing
it's
it
not
then,
even a
and
minute
it won't
and a half
rise.
long. She says she just appeared out of a warp pipe and the Toads made her their ruler.
When I was ready.
Well, they showed a little
made me
more.
their princess.
Which makes it even stranger that she's called princess. There's nobody above her. I don't think people know what the term means anymore. It just sounds pretty. Regardless, look at this place.
No.
Listen to that backstory. We want to enjoy this a little more.
Yeah.
We waited a long time to see this world on the big screen. Have enough confidence in your film to slow down and let us enjoy it.
True.
Not that Luigi needs any help.
It was
waiting,
something
as
like
he's
this, it
imprisoned
would
with
really work well.
Henchmen, yeah, what they do.
Yeah.
Back and forth in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I never knew why that Goomba was
imprisoned.
imprisoned.
And I know a franchise film is working when I want to know more where a character is from.
Oh, yep. Here comes, I knew it's Nostalgia Critics' favorite character, Lumily. This character, was my most intrigued character, I
Never
think.
saw this thing before, but man, do I want to play Super Mario Galaxy because of him.
The only hope is the sweet
Release of death!
I love this kid. What kind of things does he say in the game?
Yeah. Funny how that changes, doesn't it? Oh, oops, I did not mean to turn on that, sorry.
Okay, I'll just imagine a Majora's Mask backstory or something.
Yeah. I mean, there's actually a lot of, like, lore or, like, reasoning as to why he talks about that realistically in the movie that... I mean, I guess I'll explain as briefly as I can, that way we don't sit here for hours. But it's just that, like, again, Lumas have a pretty fast life cycle where they grow up, they become planets or stars or just about anything. And again, they're little children when they're Lumas, so they kind of have to come to term with, like, they die and turn into one of these planets. So I think that's the closest reason as to why this Luma is obsessed with talking about death and how he's come to terms and likes it. As for why he likes to talk about misery, that's a completely different story.
Our heroes make it to the Kongs and need a reminder this is an Illumination movie.
Oh yeah, here comes the Illumination stuff.
You know, for the random cast we've had in this movie, I'm surprised the halfway point is when we got our first pointless pop song. I need a hero at least has some connection. This is just a guy wearing a sports coat. Hey look,
yeah,
Mario's
this was
wearing
the
red,
weirdest
like
song,
that red
I
guy
think.
from Eyes Wide Shut. So? I don't know. It'll make us $1 bazillion anyway. They're taken to their leader, Cranky Kong, played by Fred Armisen.
Right.
He's the worst thing in the movie.
You're worthy of fighting alongside the greatest army in the world!
Yeah, who would have thought? Out of all these weird choices, Fred Armisen
yeah, he doesn't
would
really
be
sound
the
like an old
worst
guy.
one. I have no idea what they're trying to do with this voice.
I heard you want my army. Guess you're not getting my army. You're welcome, Mario.
Why couldn't they get someone like Larry David? He would have worked. Was there just not enough crypto?
Larry
offered or
David?
something?
Are you two done whispering? It's a little rude.
No, that's not it. He's gonna arrive at the Mushroom Kingdom by sundown. All right, tough guy. You want my army so badly? Yeah, I
don't know. I mean, I didn't see much with it.
And yeah, I know a guy who screeches for a living is giving this dude a hard time about his voice, but as I get older, I can't do that screechy voice anymore. Fred Armisen's a lot older than me. So what's his excuse?
Lucky for you guys, I got a shortcut. But what are you waiting for? Pick your card. In the great.
It was also kind of weird that the Kongs had the Mario Kart
It's like
stuff.
Jar Jar Binks getting choked down by singing Russell Crowe. Effort went into this suffering. Goddamn effort. They agree that if one of them can defeat his son,
Right,
Prince
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong? Again, the royal hierarchy is not really a thing in this movie. He'll hand over his army.
Yeah.
He's voiced by Seth Rogen. He's not Fred Armisen.
Yeah. Honestly, if anything, I think this is one of Seth Rogen's better performances. And again, that's an incredibly low bar from what I've seen. So, yeah, I think he played like Donkey Kong's character fairly enough. He still did the weird laugh stuff, but eh.
No, Dad, wait back.
Yeah, do you care how he is? All they have to do is play the Donkey Kong rap, and you know you're theirs.
Yeah.
I'm Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the mini
I
mushroom.
guess he got the wrong mushroom.
Thank you. Yes, any excuse to give him more lines, please do. Kong makes the Arthur fist and starts beating the crap out of Mario, but Mario gets a power-up, turning him into...
Right, Cat Mario.
Meowrio. I don't know. I'm not proud of that one.
It's just Cat Mario. You know what?
Now to piss on him to mark my territory. Oh my god, get this suit off! Oh, it was getting to the best part. I'm aroused.
What?
The Kongs join their army and they take their carts to Rainbow Road to try to ambush Bowser, who is clearly distracted.
Yeah, this part.
You marry me.
Why can't Mick be dressed as Peach, though?
Okay, I love how the Koopa Wizard is angry too. Like he was really getting into that.
Like, don't you know I'm bringing somebody's fanfiction to life?
Oh, they think they can
That's
surprise
the
me.
crazy part.
Two can play at that game.
I do love
sends
the
his forces to
reference to Mario Odyssey with his wedding outfit, though.
Road, and this is hands down the coolest part of the movie.
Yeah. With bullet bills, shells being launched it left and right.
Again, how many people have played Mario Kart and imagined an action sequence like this on the big screen?
Honestly, never.
Energy, color, imagination. It's like Mad Max Sugar Rush.
Yeah. With the zero
I
gravity.
activated the anti-gravity converter. Oh, you don't care. Just hear me say wahoo.
Well, that was something they put in the modern Mario Kart games, so that's why it's there.
We're given the Fox News logo during Pride Month as one of the drivers goes Koopa Kazi and blue shells himself into Mario and Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that scene was hilarious, at least in my opinion. That Koopa in that last moment just gave everything he could, and just saying that it was pretty good.
Quick, use the Game Genie!
Game Genie.
Peach.
Bowser confesses his love to her while also threatening Toad if she doesn't marry him.
Sounds like a Bowser move.
I'll marry you. Just don't hurt my toads.
And that's the bravest Toad they got. Why were there even guards in this kingdom?
Yeah.
I mean, their weapon of choice is frying pans half the time. Shouldn't that be their enemy?
I'm through it.
I mean, they
Agrees
eat.
to marry him. And...
I mean, I think they eat mushrooms, and they are toads.
Oh yeah, there's a brother in this Mario Brothers movie.
Right.
Well, goodbye. We have to deal with Mario and Donkey Kong not getting along but bonding over their disapproving fathers.
At least you're not gonna die with your dad thinking you're a joke.
And what my dad thinks I'm a joke, too.
Yeah, this is the one time I don't really mind the movie being that short.
Yeah.
Really. Do you want to hear these guys talking about their dads, or do you want them to give you a Smash Brothers opening?
The second one.
Yes,
Seeing
this isn't a game, it's a movie. But
seeing
it's a
Donkey
movie
Kong use
that knows
fire
its
power
audience,
was pretty
and the
interesting,
audience
though.
Wants it to be like the game.
Yes.
Nobody's expecting father issues. It's the fun of the games in the form of a movie. We
Right.
need a platform just to get us from point A to point B. Moments like this are those moving platforms just to get you to what you really want to focus on, the colorful action. And when it gets to that, it does it well.
Yep.
I'll save you, Princess. Oh, Luigi, that's right. I forgot you were in this.
Destroy the Mushroom Kingdom!
They have a big battle that probably has one too many slow-mo shots. Late 2000 Zack Snyder called.
Yeah.
He asked if this guy can be trusted. And everyone gets warped back to New York.
Right. On this part.
Admittedly,
Dang.
this is a little bit of a weird spot to have the climax, and honestly, I kind of forgot how similar some of these beats were to the 93 version.
Yeah.
But again, it is a movie, and they want to give these two a way of proving themselves to their family, so it only makes sense to have an environment where their family can watch.
Right. I know. That was kind of the weird part where, like... So I'm wondering if this is gonna do for the... If we get a sequel for this movie, maybe this could be like how we see the Mario world clash with the human world and see maybe how they use it together. I don't know.
I don't need a mansion to be brave!
What? You want a mansion?
No, yeah, actually, can I get that?
The two of them get the star
The
and
star
use their newfound
power.
power to defeat Bowser.
Very anime-ish with that moment there.
Funny, I thought taking the shrooms would cause me to see a glow like that. They take out the henchmen and Bowser is shrunk down after being fed the blue mushroom.
Yep.
Let's hear it for the Super Mario Brothers!
He said the thing again. Do they really need to keep justifying this title? So after they finally win the respect of their Brooklyn family and all of the
Yeah.
city of New York, they of course move to the
Just
Mushroom
go back.
Kingdom.
Yeah. And then they work as plumbers in
Wait,
the Mushroom
There's
Kingdom.
more. That was kind of ruined earlier because we already saw the Yoshis, but whatever.
Yeah. That's actually one thing I didn't like the most about this is the setup for the sequel. I was really hoping that we were going to get a setup for Mario Galaxy as a sequel. That way we could have Rosalina, we could learn more about the little Luma, Lumali, I know that's his name. And instead we got Yoshi. I mean, again, I like Yoshi. I'm not dissing on Yoshi. I'm just saying, if I had to choose between getting Yoshi or getting Mario Galaxy, I would say Mario Galaxy, because I think that would be a much better story than just, hey, we got a Yoshi, because Yoshi, for the most part, is always just like Mario's pet or just friend, But again, like, he could still join the sequel, even if it's focused on Mario Galaxy, but I don't know. I know, it upset me when the Lumini was talking and then we didn't get to see anything that led to anywhere with him. He just talked about more deep stuff and then just played a saxophone.
Still less scary than a sequel to this being promised.
Yep.
And that was the Super Mario Brothers movie. Fun in all the ways we want a Mario movie to be fun, and serviceable in all the ways we don't mind it being serviceable.
Right.
It's rare we get a video game movie that really allows us to embrace the world we enjoyed playing for so many years. And it's even more rare that it's told in such a likable manner. It's clear this isn't a particularly deep story with deep characters, but
Right.
it brings to life that world we all used to go to as kids.
And that's all
the
we
world
want.
you created when you
for the most
played
part.
with your toys or drew colorful drawings or, yes, played a video game. The simplicity feeds into the imagination without being insulting to it. Now, I will admit, when they do a sequel, and it is when, it's not if, that's when the story and characters probably need to be upped a bit. This is a ton of fun for now, but we do want it to grow and evolve.
Right.
Not a ton, but still a little bit. There'll no doubt be missteps along the way, just like there were with this movie, but as long as they represent the same excitement and joy the makers clearly had in making this film and translating that to audiences who have the same excitement and joy watching it, many of us will be down for finding the princess in another castle.
Indeed.
I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember it? So you don't have to.
Right.
I guess he got the wrong mushroom.
They had to finish off with that annoying cranky voice, I see.
For cameos.
Alright, well, honestly, that was pretty much what I expected him to say. I mean, it was pretty similar to his Doug reviews. That, yeah, the movie's fine and is serviceable in where it needs to go. I guess the only thing I'm worried about for the future for this movie series, if it does become a series and not just that one-off, I'm just curious where it's going to go from here, because how it's set up for next time is kind of, I don't know, it just feels very lackluster, and it's just gonna set up focusing around Mario having Yoshi, and hopefully it's not just like one of those generic, I get a weird pet and I figure out how to take care of it. I don't know. I feel like that's just not good enough for a movie. I'm hoping they do like a fun Mario series like they did in this one, but they also do add a bit more of a better story to it, you know. They could add some deeper stuff. They could slow down a little more with what we're seeing, you know. That way we can really take it all in. Again, there doesn't have to necessarily be super emotional stuff in it, but all we want to see is just a moment to really take in stuff at the very least to be serviceable like you did in this one, and I do want to see the world grow and change as we see what happens in it, you know. I hope they continue to do that if Nintendo does do that, but I don't know based on what they have shown for the future. I don't know if they will be doing that, but one can only hope. So my best of luck to them. I hope you guys liked this reaction. I really liked this one. Sorry it took a bit to get here. I will let you know that for Pikmin 4, if you're still listening at this point, Pikmin 4 I will try to post the first episode tonight. I did record a couple episodes already, and I just need to edit them and get them out. So hopefully it takes not as much time as I think it will, but it's probably going to eat up a lot of my time, and I do want to do other stuff at the same time. Tomorrow I will likely be continuing My Friendly Neighborhood on live stream. So with that being said, I hope you guys will tune in then, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!